In every emergency, the first few minutes matter. In Bangladesh, responding to an emergency often becomes a mess of coordination between citizens, responders, police, fire service, ambulances, hospitals, and disaster response teams. Our project is NIERS, the National Integrated Emergency Response System. It is a database driven platform that connects emergency call intake through 999, citizen reporting, agency coordination, dispatch operations, non emergency service requests, and disaster management within a single system. While the current emergency calling service in our country helps people report incidents, information can still become fragmented across agencies and manual processes, causing delays and reducing visibility into ongoing operations. NIERS solves this by providing one coordinated platform with real time updates, structured records, alerts, and analytics, enabling faster and more effective emergency response. In short, NIERS is a national scale coordination platform designed to support Bangladesh in managing everyday emergencies, public service needs, and large scale disasters more efficiently.
As we start the demonstration, I'd like to ensure that if a citizen registers with a valid email, for each notification they'll receive a mail as well. A Redis queue with workers and 3 retries for each mail ensures that. Due to time limitations, we're using a demo mail for the citizen and thus are unable to show this feature for now. From the citizen dashboard, the citizen can see their reports, pending reports, active incidents, or service cases, and their activity logs to get an entire idea of whatever is related to them in NIERS. Here, our citizen views one of his service cases where the dispatcher has already replied to their query. The citizen can then decide to send another query to that response as a chat system. From here, the citizen can create another report and select the type and select their location. If they press my location, it will show their own location. Like here, it shows my location, where they can search for places that they think are the incident location. Then they can also click on the map to correctly specify the location. A citizen is required to provide a summary of the report. They can also provide a description, while the reported time is automatically selected for them. Here, our citizen is unsure if it is an emergency or not, so he leaves it up to the dispatcher to classify this incident. They see a short summary of the report right before submitting, and once they submit, it has been delivered to the dispatcher to classify. So if we log in as a dispatcher, we will first see all the pending reports, active incidents, and service cases. The dispatcher decides to look into the service cases. The reply that the user has submitted a while ago has been received by dispatcher, so the dispatcher takes an internal note of what he has to do. Then he decides to send a follow-up reply to the citizen. After that, the dispatcher views his pending reports and sees quite a few fire-related incidents from around the same location. Just then, he receives a call from a citizen, so he goes to the Start 999 intake route, where he records the citizen's phone number, then the type of the incident the citizen is talking about, the summary of the incident, and the location, similarly to how a citizen selects a location. Then, after providing a small description from the call, the dispatcher can then select it to be a new emergency incident. If there are no incidents similar to this, select a severity and create the incident. If he opens the incident, he can then link the reports he's just seen about the same incident in the same location and link them to this current incident, since all these reports are about this same incident. While viewing these reports, he sees a fire report that is talking about the fire but has a different location right next street. So he goes to the report and verifies this as a misleading report. This is done for the spam detection system and to help the system admin identify repeated false reporters to keep the site spam free. Then the dispatcher goes back to the incident and assigns agencies as he sees fit to deal with the incident. the Dhaka Fire Service, and maybe the Metropolitan Police to help with law and order there. When he goes to dispatch units, he can see the units that are part of the agencies he just assigned to the incident, and he can dispatch a few necessary units to that incident. Units may be sorted based on distance from the incident location, as we saw from the backend. Then if we log in as Dhaka Fire Service, as Dhaka Fire Service has been assigned to the incident, we can see the dispatched units in the overview tab. Then we can mark the unit as dispatched. That means left the terminal or the left the station. Then we can see if any field updates has been added by the units. The agency representative's job is to add those field updates to the incident so anyone can view and take action accordingly. The agency rep can mark the unit as arrived. That means that the unit has reached the location. Then he can add more field updates by each of the units. Then each unit may complete their job first, like the rescue unit might complete its job and take the patients to the hospital, then come back to base. So each unit may have completed their job and be set to free. So after the rescue unit has completed its job, if we refresh, we can see it has been set to free. Then we can assume the incident has been completed and we can mark the fire brigade's job as completed as well. Then if we see the log of all the field updates, we can just view them from here directly. If we log in as the dispatcher and view the incident, from there we can see the audit logs of all the units who have been dispatched, arrived, and then completed their tasks. These logs are very important for the dispatcher to keep track of everything. Now if we mark this incident as completed, all the units and agencies related to this will be freed. Coming back to the triage queue, we see that many reports of flooding are arriving here. Our system admin, if we log in as the system admin, our system admin can declare a national disaster based on recent events. To declare a disaster type, a title, for example, flood in Kurigram, severity is required, and the start date, say it's today. Then we need to select affected areas. We can either select multiple upajilas if it's limited to upajilas, or you can select the whole district. That way all the upajilas are selected by default. If we select Kurigram, then Kurigram is selected. We can select multiple upajilas, say Gaibandha, but for this demo we are selecting only one. There are assessment options for the system admin to select the affected amount of people, the impact level, and any other assessment note if he knows about them. Then the declaration also comes with a public guidance and the reason of declaring a national disaster with legal reference if available. After declaring the disaster, if we open command, we can see the overview of the disaster, and in the affected areas we see that the upajilas under Kurigram have all been selected. The shelters that were available in Kurigram have been activated automatically because they are in the same incident, and we see a disaster alert all over the place. These shelters and relief hubs were first facilities that were declared by the system admin. Then the system admin can assign responsibilities to these agencies to deal with specific parts of the national disaster problem. So one of this responsibility might be shelter management. So let's say we give the shelter management to the district disaster relief office and make it the lead agency of this type. If we do that, then the shelters have all been assigned this agency. Then if we go and assign another, for example, just for demonstration purposes, medical service as the relief management hub, then the relief hubs have been assigned to that agency. Since Dhaka Medical Services was allowed to manage the relief hubs, they can update the stock there. For example, 500 rice and maybe blankets, 100 blankets units recorded in Kurigram Sodor Relief Hub. We are keeping the Ulipur Relief Hub empty for now. And if we log in as the relief representative and go to national disaster, here we can see we don't have any relief hub access, but we can manage the shelters. For shelters, we can record occupancy, so how many people are there and the remaining capacity. So 400 available and 100 are occupants. We can from there send relief requests. So we can select one shelter and add a relief request. So for example, I ask for 50 units of rice and create this request. We'll have to go to the admin, and from there, if we go to relief, we see the relief request is already here. We can approve this, and once the relief request is approved, we can record distribution. So this request which has been approved already appears here, and we can select the Ulipur which is empty and provide 50 pairs of rice. From there we can't because there is not enough inventory, but if we choose Kurigram Sodor Relief Hub which has enough stock, we can record the distribution from there. Then if we go to the timeline, we can see everything related to that disaster. The dispatcher can now take these reports and add them to the national disaster. So if we go view the national disaster from anywhere, we can see the reports that have been added to the national disaster. Aside from assigning roles to agencies and creating facilities, having an oversight of everything, the system admin also has a prompt for reporter risks. Here he can see which accounts have malicious or false reports, so he can suspend them for a limited amount of time. So this account, Shamim Osman, has been suspended for 30 days. He can take another account, for example, our Rahima, and for no reason he can suspend them for 14 days, but there will be reasons actually, so reason must be put in here. Now if we go to login as Rahima, we'll see our account has been suspended for this amount of time remaining. The admin can also disable your account forever, but that would be the last resort since anyone can run into emergency.